Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Melina Landrio and I wanted to say thank you for sharing space with me today. And if you guys are returning, thank you so much for returning. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support. You guys don't go unnoticed. So thank you so much. Hear the helicopter? This is the fourth or fifth time I've tried to record this message. I kept getting interrupted. And in one of the previous messages, there was a helicopter that went over in what appears to be the same direction. I'm not sure why there's helicopters going over my home, but it's the second one I've heard today. It could be a rescue helicopter, maybe something going on where there was a rescue that could be prevalent. Maybe this is one of those orange medical helicopters. I don't see it. I'm just guessing. This could be what's going on. So there could be some sort of emergency going on right now. So I got a bunch of songs that I started to get this message yesterday. Forgive me if I've already repeated this. On the 11th, I started getting the downloads. I'm going to share yesterday's message first. I'm going to lead into the main part of the message, and we'll get into the 11th soon enough. Again, today is the 13th of November 2024, if I didn't say that already. So the song, I got a few songs that came in. They came in very theatrical-like, and I'm going to try to share them the best that I can, the way I heard them. I don't have all the lyrics. I'm going to mumble a lot of the words, but the beat should be right, at least sort of. And if you guys want to look up the lyrics to the songs, you're more than welcome to do so. However, it's just the way this came in. It was kind of like it's almost felt like a celebration. Like Spirit was trying to point out a message through the lyrics or through the song, like something to be victorious about. So you may have something to be victorious about, okay? Or also like something that's going on in your energy field or in your surroundings could also be significant. I'm not going to try to describe it any further than that because you guys are going to make up your own interpretations of what you believe this is. But again, moving forward, as in all my messages, please use your discernment. Don't make something fit that doesn't fit. Definitely a crucial piece of information for today's message, okay? So the song started with this. Staying alive, ha, 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 staying alive. Yeah. Do, 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 do. You can tell by the way I'm walking, man. No time to come. I don't know the lyrics. Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 do 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 do. Turn around, turn away. You can look the other way. You can dance. You can talk. Da 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 da. Da, 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 staying alive, staying alive, staying alive, staying alive, ha, 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 staying alive. So that was in my head, like that, but with the lyrics. I obviously can't do justice. 1238 could be significant. I want you to want me. I need you to need me. I'm begging you to want me. Ah, da, 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 da. Didn't I see you crying? Oh, didn't I see you crying? I want you to want me. I need you to need me. I'm begging you to beg me. That's what came in. You're welcome. I know. Best show of your life. 12:55 could be a significant. We were driving and there was a pickup truck in front of us. And on this pickup truck, there was like a lot of ladders. There was pipes. There was all sorts of like hazardous materials that should be locked up in proficient sort of way. But as we were driving, I was reminded of this really sad story of somebody that I was a friend of a friend with, or I've met like a handful of times. And I just remember hearing this story. I don't know if it's true, but I just remember the story was brought up into my awareness. So it's significant. And what was showed to me was so this person was driving, and I guess a vehicle like this was in front of them, and the things were not proficiently attached, and something fell out of the truck and broke the windshield of this person's car and decapitated the passenger or the driver of the vehicle. I can't remember. Where they were in the car, but somebody died. So this is significant to the energy of this download today. Okay, this is significant. So somebody might be wishing a lot of ill will on you, towards you, wanting you to come to your demise, or wishing some sort of accident happens to you. I'm like feeling this intensity, like somebody's like really envisioning something bad happening for you. Or for me. I'm the one channeling it. So then I got, as we were driving, we saw an area that had the traffic lights out. And there was a power outage, I guess, either just on the traffic lights, maybe in that area. And then as I was approaching this, I heard warning. So there may be a warning going on for some of you. You might be getting an awareness of the energy of a warning, or like stopping what you're doing to like understand the energy around you, or what's going on around you, or, you know, gauging your surroundings. Also, as we were driving, we saw a man walking with an axe, and he was wearing a blue jacket, blue hat with a white and red stripe. This could be significant. He was just walking out in public with an axe. Just no big deal. Just in Canada, right? We walk around with our axes. Anyways, I heard at that time that I saw him, something is afoot. Like I got this understanding, something's afoot. There's a warning, there's something going on energetically as a warning. And this could lead to some form of an accident leading to someone's demise, potentially. And then we started to receive all sorts of roadblocks. So telling you not to go somewhere. So we were like bumping into constructions, traffic pylons, roadblocks, like lights out, cementing the ground. Like there's all sorts of power outages. Stay away, warning, warning, warning. So people are trying to get in your way, or in our way. People are trying to block and stop us by any means of an attempt to keep us from obtaining some form of solid foundation, okay? So if this is resonating with you so far, if any of this is kind of piquing your interest for whatever way, shape, or form, by all means, stay with us for a little while and take in the message and take what fits and leave the rest for somebody else. Again, this is going to be a collective message, so it's of importance here. I also got the song, Time is on my mind. Yes, it is. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. And then I got, bring it on round, baby. Bring it on back. Bring it on round, baby. Bring it on back. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. And then I got, it's like a battlefield out here. I met you in the summer. Doom, doom. So that's literally how I was hearing music coming in my head. So something that someone was sending to you is on its way back, is what Spirit is illuminating. And then I heard dum 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 dum, and then Spirit says, I like to move it. So they're moving something for you. Your ancestors are moving something for you. And then I heard the song later, Pop It Like This. I guess it's like a dance song. I think I recall it as a dance song. I haven't heard it in a while, so I don't really know the lyrics. I'm not hearing it now, so I can't really share it with you. I don't know the song. I think it's like related to some sort of dance, like maybe a Tila or Tula dance. This could be significant. 308 and 311 could also be significant. So, okay, guys, to the main part here. I am delivering a message for the divine. And this is an understanding for all of you who resonate with this message. How you took place in this understanding will depend on how your direction goes moving out of this, and only you will know that. Okay? So this is a collective message because it's going to be understood by a multitude of people here in various ways, and only you will know what way that is for you. So for example, if you're somebody who's been dabbling in witchcraft and you've been trying to hurt another person, you've been trying to create some form of turmoil for them, maybe you were paid for it, maybe there was some form of understanding or agreement that was made in regards to entertaining somebody else's energy, interfering, manipulating in someone else's energy in any way, shape, or form, deviously and without their consent, this could be extended in various ways as well, is what's coming up. So what I'm understanding is that it could be by sending a message to somebody. It could be by just trying to get some form of understanding or information from another. Like someone's asked you to do this. These are all ways that you have entertained a dynamic, is what I'm understanding, that maybe you didn't understand you were entertaining in the first place. So there's some form of like blinder on for some of you, like you've done something or you've entertained something that seemed rather innocent, but there was something on the back end of it that you did not understand or comprehend, and this is being illuminated right now. So if that is resonating with you, I get the sense some of you might have perked ears with that influence there. So please continue to stay along for the message. I'm going to try to get through this as efficiently as I can. The message does come up in various of places. I'm trying to make sense of it the way that I am understanding it. So essentially, Spirit is saying buckle up, because there is going to be a lot of information coming out here, a lot of understanding, and you and only you will know how you partook in this. So take it how it fits. If it resonates for you, please don't try to make something fit that simply does not fit, guys. Like, there's no need for extra drama in our lives, right? Don't make something fit that you don't need, okay? So what this energy feels like to me when I started to engage this was, I don't know if you guys know the song Bring the Noise by Anthrax and Public Enemy, I believe. That's the song that was coming in regarding to this energy. That it's like a thrasher. Bring the noise! That kind of energy. It's very at war. It's a war cry. It's a fucking call. Like, that's the one. It's reverberating through an existence of people. And you are some of the people, okay? So I'm experiencing Spirit showcasing a reality, and they're showing me coming and going into the Spirit. So people are coming and going into the Spirit. They're trying to create some form of distortion or discord for another. This and if this is you, you might be feeling this energy. Heightened levels of anxiety, intensity, perhaps outbursts in your environment. This is essentially the repercussion of another's energy in your energy field. So if they are, let's say they are angry, this person is angry and they're invading in your energy field, or they're watching you in your energy field, or they're some way impeding in your energy field, you're going to feel that anger from that back end into your energy field, because they're projecting it in. They're projecting themselves into your life. And if you're somebody who can feel energy, which I'm guessing you are because you're watching my channel, you will feel that anger. Whether you correlate it or not, depending on where you are with obtaining or utilizing your gifts, will depend on you. I can't tell you how that's going to be for you, but you will know. So it's obvious to understand what part was played as you're either guilty or you're innocent, guys. Okay, so you either have no clue what the fuck I'm talking about, but you've been experiencing this, then you're probably innocent. Or you know you've done something, somebody paid you money, you partook in magic, spell casting, something, and then you know that you're guilty. Don't play the victim. If you know full well you played a part in trying to distort or create chaos for another for your own personal gain, even though your morals said don't do it, maybe you're being hit with something that shouldn't have been done in the first place. Like, you might be having some sort of backlash from the energy you put out. Maybe you think you're under attack, but maybe it's just the boomerang of what you've put out coming back onto you. This is significant in understanding here for some of you. Not all of you, but for some of you here, I am being showed there's a misunderstanding of how energy works and the implications or the repercussions. This, I am understanding, is for some of you, not all of you, okay? And Spirit wants you to know that the ancestors are pissed. Mine are fucking pissed, okay? And this is why Spirit wants me to illuminate this message. They've asked me to illuminate this message because I have experience in this type of occurrence that I'm about to share with you. And they feel that me expressing this to you is going to help you guys in some way, shape, or form in understanding. So thank you for sharing space with me, okay? So I am just the messenger. Please note that. Spirit is playing the Anthrax song, okay? So if you want to bring it, you want to bring it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so they're matching the levels and layers of what was brought to attack someone innocent. So someone innocent could be you. Someone innocent could be me. And my understanding is that the ancestors' intensity is going to be matching the intensity that someone had to attack or hurt to get victory over another, over you, over me. And the difference is they're not going to miss. So people attacked you, but they missed. Spirit, your ancestors are not going to miss in the return. They're not going to miss. And what was dished out, what people are dishing out towards you is going to be returned to its rightful owner. So whoever was involved in dishing out some form of energy will receive exactly what they put out. It's like a balance, right? It's an equal take give. It's a balance, right? You want to give out something, you're going to get it back exactly the same way. So this is for somebody here. Okay, this is not for everybody. This warning is not for everybody in the negativity of it, okay? Understand that. And again, you know where you play a role in this, okay? Also, when I finished that portion of the message, my timer said 323.50. So the 323 being the mirroring energy is what I was showcased, like what showcased to me. And the 0.50 is the energy matched by spirit. So it's like an equal balance, okay? So then on November 11th, so that was all yesterday. On November 11th, I heard while channeling this principle, a principle, not the principal of a school, okay? A principle, this principle. And as I heard that, I was shown a man's profile. And he had what appeared to be salty, peppery hair. But I'm also seeing, as I speak of this, like as I say, like as I express this, this channel that I received, I also, forgive me, I have some burps coming up. I also feel like his hair could also be like a wheat color, like a blonde, like a beige wheat, like a bland wheat color. Maybe he colored his hair. I don't know. Or maybe his hair goes from one color to another color, or maybe something significant happened to somebody's hair. Anyways, he had at first what appeared to be salt and peppery hair, and the top of his hair was longer, like about 2 to 3 inches, and it was like kind of messy but put back. And it was hard to see the back of his head as it was kind of faded out, and my perception was mainly the face and the top of his head that I was seeing. And he had like messy hair. I feel like his eyes were brown or hazel, and I felt like he could be Middle Eastern looking at him, because he reminded me of somebody I once knew. Anyways, looking at his profile, he was smiling and he was gritting his teeth, like gritting his teeth. And then suddenly he turned into what reminded me of a fish, like a babat. If anybody knows what that is, like it's like a bottom feeder of a fish. Like it started to project out of his whole face. Like his whole face turned into the deep, darkest of blues with a silvery underbelly. And also trout and eel came to my mind as well. So for some of you, maybe you've seen, because my understanding when I saw this was marine spirits. So for some of you, maybe you have seen marine spirits. And for some of you who have worked with marine spirits, maybe you have become this, or maybe you've also become a trout or an eel. I don't know. This is what I'm being showed. So I felt the understanding of marine spirits. And as I viewed this man gritting his teeth, and as he looked up, I heard this principle. So when I looked up the word this principle, it's a fundamental truth or proposition that serves as the foundation for a system of belief, behavior, or a chain of reasoning. So an example would be the basic principalities of Christianity. Okay, so this has something to do with marine spirits. It's this principle, a base principle, some form of structure in regards to it. 234 is significant at this point in the message. Then I heard the phrase grin and bear it. That's what came to my mind. And the man in this channel reminded me of an ex from my past, or an affiliation with an ex. So this could be significant, especially regarding past connections for some of you. Back to November 12th, yesterday, I woke up in the middle of the night to drink some water. I have a water cup I tend to drink out. You may see it. Anyways, we drink distilled water, and our water, we place minerals in the pouring of the water. It sits in with minerals in the base. So when we pour it out, it's possible these little stones, or little round marble looking stones, could fall into our water. They very rarely do. We're very aware of it. But anyways, I woke up in the middle of the night to drink my drink. And as I drank it, I heard a rock swirl in my water. It was the middle of the night. It was really dark. I didn't want to turn on the light to check. So I just made a note just to be careful drinking it if I had any more. And I would check it in the morning. Well, when I went to go check it in the morning, there was no rock in my water. There was no rock in my water. And before I checked it in the morning, I even did a second swirl of it to make sure I heard that. And I did, which confirmed to me that I thought it was a mineral rock. So this got me thinking that something wasn't as it appeared to be, okay? Because like I thought for sure there was some solid evidence the sound of it was a rock in my water. But when I woke up, it wasn't there. So something is not as it appears to be. Okay. And then in that morning, when I talked about the water to my partner, he all of a sudden was reminded of this weird dream he had. Now, this is on the 12th. I channeled on the 11th that man that turned into the fish, the marine spirit, right? I didn't tell him about this. I didn't have a chance to talk to him about my channels that day. It was a very busy day for us. And so I told him about the water, and then he said, I had a weird dream. And he said, there's a man, and there's this instance of people in my dream, and they turned into something. And I looked at him and I said, like a fish? And he went, yeah. And so this indicated to me that someone may be affecting multiple people at once, or multiple people are involved. Okay, so this is my understanding. So I decided to pull some cards on this yesterday, and I'm going to show you the cards. I'm going to share them with you. So I pulled first the Lovers, okay? And this represents openness to inspiration, intuition, and intelligence in this card, in this instance, okay? And this was being influenced by the Seven of Cups in reverse. And the Seven of Cups in reverse is all about delusions or delusionment. It's an unrealistic experience, some form of false promises. Indecision and escapism also come into mind. Okay, so these two are influencing each other. So there's somebody who's open to they're getting intuitive messages, they're getting downloads like myself. You're somebody who's inspiring. You're inspiring people, okay? 2222 on my timer as I said that. And the Seven of Cups is somebody's creating some form of delusionment in regards to what you're dishing out, what you're sharing as inspiration, what your intuition is guiding you to share. What I'm sharing today, somebody is trying to make it seem like it's bullshit. Okay, and that's what the Seven of Cups is referring to here. Okay, so we have the Lovers, and we have the Seven of Cups in delusion. And then we have this card, the Empress. It came out sideways. I ended up taking it in reverse. However, I don't think this is your actual stance. You're the Empress in the upright. But somebody wants you to look like you're in the reverse. And there goes the illusionment, the Seven of Cups reverse experience. And so this is essentially, it's like a dissipation of who you are. It's like demoting you from all that you've been through. It's telling people that you don't know what you're talking about. It's just essentially an escape from who they are by projecting it onto you and creating that as your truth, when in reality it's not your truth, okay? So they're trying to make you look like you're an Empress in the reverse. And they are a Prince of Cups, and they're in the reverse. And this essentially represents a very evil person, somebody who's merciless. There's somebody who has this overweening ambition to get things done the way they want to get done and the way they see fit. Okay? And so they're going out of their way to make sure that you don't look a specific way. This is what I'm getting. I got to move my camera a little bit here. Sorry, guys. So that is the Page of Wands in reverse. And he's also being influenced by the Magician. And the Magician is about skill, it's about wisdom, it's about adroitness, and it's also about elasticity. And this comes up in regards to my download, which I'm going to express upon as we move forward, okay? But this guy is crafty, he's cunning, and he's full of deceit, okay? And this is being directed by somebody who is showing up as an evil man, is showing up somebody who doesn't have any mercy for you, and they really are trying to destroy who you are, your image. Okay, they're creating illusionment about you. And we have the Chariot, and this is triumph, this is victory, this is about obedience, this is about faithfulness and success. And this is why I know that you are the Empress in the upright, because whatever they're doing is not hitting you. Okay, because you are, because whatever this was for me yesterday when I received it, it wasn't hitting the way that the reading was saying. I'm like, yeah, I'm aware of this energy, but like, I rebuke it. Like, poof, it's gone, you know? Like, it wasn't anything that was formidable, or maybe I realized a new level of existence for myself. So this could be significant for you guys as well. So you're being victorious in something. You've gained some sort of insight or wisdoms. You're achieving some sort of movement forward in regards to maybe your ascension, maybe your way forward, maybe a pathway that you've been working hard towards getting or receiving or getting out of. You're starting to get that momentum forward. And this card here is showcasing that for you, okay? But we have here, like what you're getting out of is essentially a 10 of Wands. And this is the like, this is somebody who's trying to force you to detach from what your goal is. So and the Spirit just keeps guiding me to share it in my experience. So I'm going to just keep sharing it in the way that I understand it, because I've been through this, and I'm going through it actually. And Spirit is trying to get me to speak my truth, which is very hard for me sometimes, because I have had a lot of traumatic experiences in my life that has created that difficulty for me. But I have succumbed and healed from a lot of that, and I've moved up. And I think that's what this is showcasing for me. So maybe you are somebody as well who has been through a lot. Maybe you have overcome a lot of things that people didn't think that you would overcome. Maybe people really undermined your experience in life and thought that you were like gullible or naive, or you didn't have anything. I mean, I look young, and the way I speak, a lot of people will like come up to me and they'll like press over me, like they think they know more than me or they're greater than me, because I don't sit there and try to compare myself with other people. I just try to be me. And I think that really fucks with people in a sense, I guess. Me trying to be authentic, me trying to just be who I am, because my whole life people try to make me not who I am. So of course I'm not going to fight I'm not going to fight to try to be somebody else's existence. That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't even resonate with me, to be honest with you, because I've already fought my entire life. So this is somebody trying to force some sort of detachment on you. They're trying to make you go backwards. They're trying to make you like connect to this projection that they're placing forward, this illusion that they're placing forward, that you have no experience, that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, that you don't have any valid type of criteria to help someone gain some form of inspiration through your intuition, through your intelligence that you have obtained in your real life fucking living experience. Somebody is trying to erase what you've experienced in your life, and they're trying to do this by creating a 10 of Wands for you, and that's what's coming up, and that's what Spirit wants me to showcase. And they're doing this because they want dominion. They want to get the highest form of ranking above you. They feel that they could just pitter-patter their way to the top without even experiencing an ounce of what you've experienced in your life. And they're utilizing some form of expression, creating an illusion for people to attach to. And when I speak forward in the message, you may have a greater understanding to that attachment as we move through it, because there's something that's elevated throughout this message, and it's regarding somebody who believes that they deserve a certain structure, they deserve this dominion, they deserve the energy that is emanating from this force here. But what Spirit says is they haven't earned it. You have. And they're doing this, and this card here is indicating how they're doing this. And what really strikes up from this card for me is it's like they're beginning a steady increase. Like you're maybe coming into a steady increase of harmony. Maybe you're coming into like your natural gifts, your natural forces without efforts. But this is also showing me from the opposite spectrum. Sex magic can be associated with this particular card, and this is the energy that's kind of coming out, because there's some weird perverse energy that comes out. It's kind of creepy, and it just triggers some of my traumas of the past, like with rape and such. And so it's like somebody may know some sort of trauma that you've been through that could be regarding some sort of relationship or something that has occurred to you regarding your personal space, your body. and they know this about you, and they're utilizing it against you, and they're cultivating that trigger in trauma by connecting to that energy. That's what I'm getting from this, and I'm getting this is coming through essentially because there's someone summoning up spirits, deities. They're summoning up, in this case, water elements to work against somebody. And I believe they're doing this strategically. Okay, so I know from where I'm standing, from what I've been experiencing, God has showed me it all. I'm very aware of what's been going on. I see people as soon as they come into my energy field. I know, I see you all. I may not say it, I can see. So if I'm speaking your story and you don't like it, it's probably because you're in my energy field and you probably should step away from it. Because Spirit shows me everything that comes towards me that's for me. Okay? And we all have that ability with our connection to God. We all have that ability with our connection to Source, from where we come from, right? And some of us are a little closer to Source than others. And some feel like this is unfair, from what I understand. But we all have the ability to do it, and it's up to you and how you do it and if you do it. It's not up to anybody else to make you do it. It's your choice to not talk to God. It's your choice to turn away in your pain and not reflect upon it. It's your choice. I personally have chosen, I have ran away from my pain. I was taught to do that. I was taught to hide from all the shit that happened to me because the people in my life didn't want me to talk about the shit that happened to me. But then I was really lost, and had a really hard life because I avoided it. And I came to lots of rock bottom places in my life because I didn't listen to who I was, because I was told that other people came above me in the ranking of my family. So for me to finally heal some parts of me, to realize that I did matter, and that it was okay to speak the truth about what I existed in, was when I realized the power of that. The power that people have over us, and then moving forward from that and not wanting to utilize it, that way of being anymore, because it's not who you are. And when you get to that point where you realize, you have that aha moment that you want to change the structure, that's usually when you get met with God. And you have multiple times in your life where that happens. So if you're not somebody who goes to church, you're not somebody who frequents religion, that's fine. I wasn't one of those people. But I always heard God. God always talked to me. I may not have had constant conversations with God, but I always had constant conversations with my ancestors. I always had constant conversations with the angels. I may not have realized that I spoke to God because people told me who God was, and it wasn't really reflective of who I thought God was. Does that make sense? That makes sense for somebody here. Anywho, so somebody is essentially summoning up deities, water elements in particular, to work against you, to work against somebody, okay? And they're doing this strategically. And when they want to start to work against that person, so in this case, it could be you, and they want to start to work against you, it could be me, right? They summon the spirit and they let them take their body over. Okay, this is the extent of what somebody is doing out there. And this somebody who has the spirit in them, I also get, sorry, I'm just going to stop this for a second and just touch on this. I also get there's confusion involved in them permitting a DT, an energy, to take them over. I also understand this is not something that they always did, but they started to do for some reasoning, which I think I'm going to touch on later, and Spirit might illuminate that for me to tell you guys. Okay. So they want you to start, so when they want to start to work against that person, this could be you, they summon the spirit, let them take over their body. And this is someone who has the spirit in them. As per reflection from the channel, like seeing the man become the fish, right? He grins and he does something and he permits. There's a protocol that he does. There's some sort of principle that happens that permits this to come out, okay? And they let the spirit take them over, and they strategically start to implement a system trying to take somebody down, okay? And the conjurer in this instance represents the Prince of Cups in reverse. Is someone evil, they're merciless, and they're overweening. They're not stopping. They're going to keep going because they have a mission that they want to fulfill. So it may be part of their life purpose to take you down. Maybe you rising is their demise, and they don't like that. You choosing you is a problem for them. But, you're supposed to let them choose. They're supposed to be the top rank, right? You have no say. You're not meant to be living here. You're just a flawless puppet in the notion of the world, living for this Seven of Cups, Prince of Cups in the reverse energy, right? No, fuck that. Okay. So you're taking back your power, you're stepping up, and this conjurer doesn't like that because they're concerned that you may see the truth of what they have done. You may have a past with this person and or some form of connection, and they are utilizing marine spirits to take you down. This is what I'm understanding. And the thing is, for some of you, this isn't affecting you. Okay, you are conscious of your surroundings and anything that suggests change of wind that you perceive it. Okay, you are the Empress. Okay, and you have gone through this many times in a magnitude of ways. And you know how to deal with this. This is not something, this is not your first rodeo, okay? You've been through bullshit your entire life. This is not your first rodeo. You know how to fucking get through it. And you reflect upon your past. You're somebody who will sit there and you will look at all sides of a scenario. If you're like me, you've done something and you're trying to make sense of it, you're going to look at it from all aspects, trying to figure out, were you in the wrong? No? Okay, then who's in the wrong here? Or what's the accurate response here, right? You're going to reflect upon this. So you reflect upon your past experiences and then you gauge what is occurring now, and the solution is provided from your experiences of the past. And you're very knowledgeable. You're somebody who has a lot of knowledge. You've been through a lot and you're privy to information beforehand. So this indicates to me that you are highly protected in the spirit. So you're somebody who has your ancestors around you. They have your back. You're fully connected with angels and you can speak directly to God. So you're likely someone like me. Okay. And for some of you, so that's for some of you. Now for another portion of you, it is affecting your environments in a very chaotic, energetic way. And for this portion of you, this is becoming overwhelming. You are at your rope's end. And you may be experiencing thoughts that create understandings that trigger perhaps past wounds that you've experienced. And you may have thoughts in belief that you are losing your mind. You might feel like you're going crazy. And you are beginning to notice a lack of support in your life. Okay, this might be something that you have been dealing with in the last year or so. And the people around you are fast to showcase what appears wrong with you, with little to no effort in aiding you to find a solution. This is how you're coming to the realization that nobody really cared about you. There's people in your life that you thought were like your besties, and they just didn't give a fucking shit about you. And this made you feel, or this has been very isolating experience for you. And this just may be what they're trying to conjure up in regards to what they're trying to achieve. They're trying to isolate you. Okay. Now for both groups, if you have a lot of responsibilities, maybe you're like me and you have kids, it could also be affecting them and also the execution of your responsibilities too. So they might be deliberately trying to make your house so it's unstable, like in noise and you can't get anything done, or creating some sort of chaos surrounding you with your neighbors. Something's going on in regards to that type of energy is what it feels like. And depending on your environment and your personal growth, will relay how smoothly you will transition through this spiritual attack, because that's what it is. Okay. You're experiencing something that you cannot see, but perhaps it's obvious that something is going on as others in your surrounding are witnessing it too. That's how you know you're not necessarily crazy, right? You're able to understand what's going on. You're able to reflect upon it. You're able to see it for where it is. You're not pretending in delusion that it doesn't exist and going about your life. Like you're actually sitting there and you're tangibly seeing it. Other people are seeing it in your life as well. So spiritual awareness and understandings of your personal gifts would be of benefit here. So as you could gain some form of perception. So be mindful of the spaces that you entertain on this part of your journey, as they may not be what they seem. Okay. And I say that from experience. I entertained environments that I thought were going to benefit me in utilizing my gifts. And although I did learn some things that I was grateful for, or I was able to have a different understanding because I learned a different perspective than what I had already known, which could have been beneficial or not, depending on what it was. They still didn't have my best in their hearts. Okay. And sometimes we meet people that smile in our face and they don't give a shit about us. Okay. They may see something in us that we don't see, and they may not tell us that either. So there are sneaky people out there. So just to be mindful of this journey, to listen to your inner standing, listen to your inner wisdom, your inner intuition. Don't just forget about that, because that's an important key that God gave you to utilize on your mission as you move forward, okay? And make no mistake, this is spiritual warfare. If this is what you're experiencing, it's spiritual warfare. And if you can get through your day and you can rationally think about what is going on, you reflect upon it and you ask questions about it and you're actively seeking solutions. And if there are others perceiving it too, you are likely of sound mind, in my opinion. Now, if you feel otherwise, please go see a professional. I am not a doctor. But if you feel the need for assistance with a medical professional, seek the help that you need, the type of profession that you need. Do your own research and gain the professional and your comfort levels with your own mind and not another's reflections. Okay, your intuition is a powerful tool, and it is meant to guide you along your pathway. Okay, so please utilize that. You'll be guided to the right doctors. You'll get a sense that something is wrong with a certain type of person. You know you have this intuition that guides you. We all have it, and we often ignore it. So it's important to understand that. And I would start trying to perfect that understanding by writing down the things that you have intuition about and seeing it happen, seeing if you're right. So the Magus with the Prince of Cups in reverse is in alignment with the Ten of Wands and are wanting to send burdens, trying to take over some form of dominions by changing the way others perceive you. So you may be experiencing backlash and slander at this time as someone is trying to make you look like an Empress in reverse. And they're doing this from the Seven of Cups energy in reverse, which is illusionment. So fueling some form of distortion of your character as some form of escapism or false promises perhaps were made. Okay? So as a visual, what I'm being showed is the Magus. And this is what Spirit wants me to really illuminate here. I don't know if you guys remember this or have ever seen this, but there used to be this toy with a sticky hand, and it had this long, sticky, like rubber experience, and you would throw it and it would hit a wall and it would attach. I'm seeing this. And so essentially what I'm seeing is this Magus, this magician, is casting out these sticky hands, and they're casting it out as a direct connection to someone's mind. So this could be your mind, this could be my mind, and they're sending it out and trying to connect to somebody's mind. This is mental magic that this is emanating to me. They're showcasing this is mental magic. It's highly significant here on many layers and levels. So distorting thoughts, ideas, communication, casting illusions or projections to create confusion for a multitude of people is what's coming up. And it appears to me as some form of receptors to one's brain, and this transmutes signals and frequencies of whatever is directed within its reception. So if you could think transference of energies that I just mentioned above to create confusion or distortion. And this same line of connection is also extended outwards to, so let's say they attach that sticky hand to you, that connection is also extending outwards to others that you may encounter. So your friends, your family, colleagues, neighbors, bosses, whoever. Essentially those that you give or have given freely of your energy, okay? And this is done strategically. Likely in groups of threes is what I'm understanding, and simultaneously casting out some form of struggle. So what I'm being showed is a multitude of people being recepted and pulled inwards. So it's like they attach this hand to you and they pull you inwards. And it's done by this one entity that they have conjured up. And this marine spirit, in this case, has consumed the conjurer with the conjurer's permission. So the conjurer has let them take over. And the mission is you. Okay? So there could be also more than one person who has summoned up a deity or a spirit of this type of energy, or any other type of energy for that matter. So I'm also being showed there is a multitude of cults or groups likely involved, as they are what appears to be teams of people working towards the same outcome. This is also where transference of energy is revealed, and I am being shown a lesson for some of you on the boundaries that you apply or lack thereof. So some of you may have been told something, maybe felt a different way about it, but continue to go through it. There's your boundary was not placed up, and you just dismissed whatever intuition you had and you went along with whatever was the flow. This is what Spirit's trying to emanate. Some of you don't get that. So in these culty type groups, They can work together, or they can also work away from each other at designated times. And while the conjurer directs the spirit to the target, another person is creating spell work to encase the surroundings of the target. And so this is what they're showing me. Spirit is showing me this. They're showing me a conjurer that's directed a target. They're showing me two other people with them. Now, they don't necessarily have to be together at the same time. So one is casting out spell work. So spell work to hit the environments that you live in. So this could be gossip. This could be relaying untruths or distortion for another, in particular, time frame, perhaps. I feel like there's a time frame attached to this. And it may seem innocent, like a reflection of school gossip is what I'm being showed. But the energetic imprint is far from it, dependent on the conjurer's actions that perhaps are unseen by all. So there's some sort of underlining invisible experience that you guys aren't seeing. The people who have been involved in this that may be watching, I'm understanding some of you watch. If you took part in this, you were told something, but not all the information was told out front, and you're missing a major part of it. And this is what Spirit wants you to understand. And while these two are performing their positions, another person, so while the conjurer is performing one, somebody else is performing spell work, and another person is introducing another outcome of deliverance. So this could be hexes, curses, hoodoo, voodoo, magic, whatever. And it would be in alignment with whatever the goal was to take someone out. And it could even be as severe as death magic, is what I understand. So what seems to be emanating with the Six of Cups in this reading is sex magic. This is the energy that I'm feeling when I'm connecting to this message. So they're trying to create something on or with another's energy. And you will know this if this is occurring, as you will have implications from it that don't align with your natural homeostasis. So feelings of feeling the ramification of arousal, intensity, some form of distortion without the interaction. It could be mild or disturbing depending on the person sending it towards you and their natural homeostasis. You could even have somebody trying to get pregnant off of your energy. Okay, this is what I'm being showed. And that's fucked if somebody is doing that. And I feel like somebody has been doing that. So somebody has tried to get pregnant off of your energy. There could be a multitude of people over the years that have done this. And I even think there could have been some discord in regards to those pregnancies. But I'm not getting into that part of the message. That's not what Spirit wants me to highlight, but that is something that's coming up in regards to this magic, the Six of Cups energy. Also, if there is a Jezebel spirit on them, it would form into perversion, which is likely not your homeostasis, as I have mentioned above. So something that could connect or permeate from some form of trauma that you may have endured in the past to try to pull your energy downwards. So you might be high vibrating and they're just trying to pull you down to be able to connect to you. And this is part of the plan, because your lower vibration that you hold, the easier you are a target to intertwine in your energy. And this is what I have learned through personal experience from people getting into my energy when I was in the lowest of the lows of my life, when I was almost homeless with a 2-month-old and a 4-year-old. When I lost my entire family due to this type of orchestration. When all sorts of people came up against me who didn't even know me, and decided to make lies about me. Like, it's just all sorts of bullshit that could conjure up because of people in this type of energy. And this is something that I definitely understand, because when I was in those spaces was when I was the hardest hit. And I don't find I'm feeling it like I did. So you could get out of it. You just have to heal and go past it. Anyways, also note that the Magus, the Magician card, these are people who can utilize magic to manifest or change things in their lives that aren't for them. These things weren't naturally ordained to them at birth. And they do this by cultivating from another person's energy. So they cast spells in this type of experience, or the spells casted in this type of experience are casted usually to soften an environment. So it's a constricted pattern or technique, like I said above. What was it, the word that I said in the November the 11th part of the channel? Profile? Anywho, maybe you understand what I don't remember with my brain right now. Anyhow, so they do this by cultivating from another's energy, and they cast, the spells casted in this type are there to soften a constricted pattern technique that was delivered to create a type of turmoil between people. And what this does is they soften certain areas in your life. So spells or magic to get in the way so they can effectively get in. So, for example, if they're working against you, they will work with one person you are affiliated with. And you might have 4 to 5 more connections together with this particular person. And there's one person they choose to target to come up against you. They might be casting spells to get them to come to them. They might be casting spells to soften their guards down, to make them think in opposition of you. And these are usually close-knit connections to you, so it's kind of weird when they all of a sudden act bizarre around you. And that's kind of a telltale sign. Like if you've done nothing wrong to somebody and they all of a sudden change their tune with you, and they usually are somebody who would confront you or come talk to you, but they're not, that could be a telltale sign. So if you or somebody close to you have found yourself thinking of another, calling another, going towards another without any indication as to why, and you simply cannot connect the resolution, then they might be doing this to you. Okay? So in this instance, there is another level added simultaneously and will begin to take effect if not addressed and not prayed against. Magic begins to enhance what has been placed in creation and steadily moves forward into further distortion with that individual. So while the beginning influences commences to the next person. So the spells break through. That's it, that this person's doing what they're wanting them to do. Now the magic sets in and those spells go to the next person. So it's an attachment. It's like, I got you. It's like, tag your it. Okay, I pulled them in. Now tag that person's it. Let's pull them in. Let's get them this way. And whoever is working. It's like this weird orchestrated experience. So I'm seeing these sticky hands hitting you and it's stuck to you like super glue. And you may be emitting a signal of inner trauma that this person may be aware of as they utilize it to their advantage. So I'm being guided to share a memory of my past of somebody doing this to me. So I'm going to share it in a way that references you so maybe you can understand it in that way. Maybe it's going to resonate. So what it looks like to me is almost as if they're utilizing you as a marionette. And they're pushing you and they're pulling you and they're maneuvering you in a specific way. And for 2 purposes. 1, to make you think you're going crazy. And 2, to make others notice this in you. Okay. And this tags on to any self-worth or self-esteem issues that you may have. So giving off an appearance that you are not up to par with whatever it is you are navigating, be that work, family, social scenarios, business. So you may have had an experience, or you may have had experiences where you become over emotional and you feel somewhat detached from that emotion, but you can't stop the emotion part of it. And there's no association with the two. It's weird that it's like you're watching yourself emote. You're watching how somebody's reacting to you and you're not understanding why you're doing it. And you can't even perverate that. Is that the right word? You can't even speak on it. Okay. So you're having this emotional experience, that you're detached from, and you see yourself emoting for whatever this reason is, and people are asking what's wrong with you, you honestly can't answer it. You're like, I don't know. You may also find yourself tripping over your words or find a sudden loss in your working memory as you try to have conversations or speak upon something which you like, something that you know like the back of your hand. So it's weird that you would forget anything about it. And this is something of magnitude and significant, could be hidden from you deliberately in this regard, okay? And the trauma you have endured is received as an exaggeration, and you witness the reactions of those around you, and this furthers your inner trauma and creates some form of stagnation moving forward, and particularly within a healing environment. So one where you likely have paid to receive some form of service to help you move through a very difficult time in your life. Everything happens in micro constricted developments to test how easily you can be manipulated. And this happens outside of the reality you are actually experiencing. It's almost as if a fictitious reality is created and applied over your existence, creating or amplifying you to further retract from moving forward. Perhaps pushing you in isolation. And this is the whole point of the beginning of this message. Somebody wants you in isolation. So unfortunately, this is the moment that will test your mind to the fullest, okay? This is where like you're going to be at the depth of this fuckery, okay? And it is most important to pray against this. And you're going to want to pray with the mighty high God, okay? You're going to want to cry out to Jesus for your resolution. Because the people, the conjurer is aiming to get you to delete yourself from this reality. And this could be for real. Like they want you to delete yourself. Or figuratively speaking, if your mission on Earth is something that they wish to do or take over, depending on where you're at. So trying to move you out of the way or trying to manipulate you to give up your purpose on Earth. And what does that require for them to do so? They're going to do that. Okay? And so me sharing with you a part of my story is what many do not want me to do. Okay? And this is why I've done 4 to 5 recordings before this one to make it through. So I've gone through spiritual warfare my entire life, even as a child. And many of the people who have tried to suppress me are realizing right now that they cannot. They have come to realize they cannot. And my truth is very telling on another's character. I have had all sorts sent to me over this lifetime, trying to create some sort of dramatic finish for me. And I'm talking about family, I'm talking about close friends, I'm talking about colleagues, I'm talking about people who I looked up to, like bosses. And I've come to learn that these connections are often attached to trauma that is deep within you, okay? So trauma you are familiar with, okay? Trauma you are used to. It's residing within you and you're used to it being there. It's an energy that you rarely acknowledge because it's so painful. You may ignore it, pretend that it's not there anymore, but you always feel it within the depths of you. And what's coming out in this instance is that you may have been manipulated by someone you have trusted with this information. They are utilizing it to their advantage. This person has an evil agenda towards you or someone you know. And they are utilizing you to get to someone or someone to get to you. So you must understand that aside from this person who conjured up marine spirits, and aside from the people hired to do the work, aside from this group, those in your surroundings, maybe your loved ones, friends that are being targeted, are also being attacked, okay? These are innocent bystanders in the way of whatever it is these people are formulating to try to take from you. And so this marine spirit is utilized to essentially program those around you to go against you. It's essentially a signal into someone's weaknesses and then they attach. And this is why I believe and know from personal experience that it is someone that you have confided in with deep personal insights about you. This is likely someone that comes across as resourceful, helpful in some way, someone that you wish to seek out for some form of service, and unfortunately, they are abusing their power. And I've had to leave environments I once supported because of the awareness that became of certain individuals that were abusing their power. So I know what it's like, and I know what it is like to dive into your deepest pains with someone you trust to heal and have them attack you with it. So to have them mock you, any attempt to belittle your existence. So you will know this is happening in your life as nothing in your life seems to be getting better. Okay? Like you're going out for healing, but nothing is changing. Very minimal, if anything. And as you're being manipulated to believe that your downfalls are your tower. So they might be manipulating the structures of what you've experienced. And they might be utilizing this pain and this sorrowful space that you're in to confuse you. So you are manipulated to believe that your downfalls are your tower, and you're advised that when you do the work, you will rise and grow from there. Except all the doors are closed, nothing is changing, nothing is flowing. It's like everything becomes a standstill once you meet these types of individuals. And you will know this as you will have great opportunities, and no one will be happy for you. Now, you have these great things happening for you, and nobody is going to give a fuck. All the people who should be giving a fuck are not going to give a fuck. And you will have a great numbers coming in for you. So like if you're stepping into your purpose and you're having people coming forward, they're wanting your service. You're becoming busy. You're very prominent, and then you're super busy. You know, things are flowing. Things are like on the up and up. It just feels good. And then all of a sudden there's this loss of interest, this loss of flow coming in. This could be also you losing interest or losing the ability to create that flow that you've always been so great at creating. And you will feel this like you're finally coming into something that that created so much joy in your heart at the moments that this occurs. And you felt like you had your life purpose beyond all the pain that you had endured. Finally, it accumulated into something, okay? Then all of a sudden, you're going to get crickets. It's like, and it makes no sense. And this is often the sign that people are coming up against you, making little connections to create mass amounts of spell work. And what you also might find is that they're also trying to do the same things that you do in a multitude of ways, but it's just not the same as what you would do. There's differences, right? We all do different things. We all have different lives. Like we all lead different lives. We all have different experiences for a reason, right? Nobody's the same. We all have different purposes. And Spirit wants me to share with you that you will know the real ones in your life because they're the ones helping you. They're they're being authentic in their purpose, and they're standing in their power, and they're not trying to impede on yours. And you will notice an instant change when you feel them in your heart. And this will influence something bigger than both of you. For you will become a force that ripples outwards, right? You will both make a difference for the better, and you will feel the magnitude as you touch those around you with your purpose. So when you're in the presence of somebody who is good for you, they're going to uplift you. They're going to showcase you. They're going to be proud of you. They're not going to try to tear you down or tell you to do something else. They're going to embrace what it is that you're feeling called to do, right? And when you're in the presence of someone who is abusing their power, they are trying their best to make it so you don't thrive. They're trying to reduce the way people see you or seek you. And they are likely taking from your energetic field to benefit theirs. And you will notice things crumbling in your life. Everything will fall apart, one thing after another. And you may also have this person abusing their power, highlighting the discords to others that you've been through. All of the pieces that are falling for you will be illuminated to further cause discord for you, and with a lack of support. And they may also be doing this while smiling in your face. And by the grace of God, I survived, and I continued to move forward in this space. I was entertaining during that time of my life. Sorry, that didn't sound right what I just said, did it? Sorry, I'll repeat that. By the grace of God, I survived, and I continued to move forward in the space I was entertaining during that time of my life. And I naturally felt drawn towards the work. It was something that came organically to me, even though I fell on hard times while learning a perception, another's worldview, and one who didn't hold space for me. I still remember, and I still embrace the idea that the environment must be filled with big-hearted people. But I came to learn that was the opposite of what I was led to believe. A lesson I learned after insurmountable loss, pain, and was delivered. And this is another reason why Spirit and my ancestors want me to speak on this today. So you might be someone who naturally gravitates to a certain environment, circumstance, or experience to find some form of relief in the pain you have endured. Relief likely sought through somebody in an authoritative type position, like a psychologist, maybe a doctor, a psychotherapist, maybe even a life coach or spiritual healer or advisor. Someone trained to utilize some form of helping profession or academic procedure to help those who are vulnerable. Except you have found someone that approaches with malevolence towards you or another might be an affiliation, or they might be an affiliation with another. And this is where the discord comes in. And you start to feel like you're going crazy. You start to feel like something is not realistic, something is off. But you're not crazy, because people are noticing this as well in the changes perception, something is off. What's unrealistic to most eyes is that someone's in your energetic field. People don't think there is any form of interest here. Like, we like to dismiss this, but in fact, it's a daily activity for many. Putting their noses where they don't belong, looking at another person's pathways instead of focusing on your own. They discard the absorption of such interference in behavior, which only solidifies the guilty internal ramification. Also, the opposing insight reprimanding such disturbances and interference. And this infuses this non-conscious reality to envelop. And you discard your ownership and understanding of it, and become complacent as you are choosing to not be aware of it, because you have been led to believe calling something out is bad, and this further provided you to learn to trust in directions outside of you, rather than your inner compass, your intuition. So this is unfortunately done on a massive worldwide scale. Maybe some of you are aware of that. manipulative tactics that contain certain brackets or criteria from folding or revealing is what's really illuminating here. So what you need to become aware of is what you are putting out into the world. Like, what is it that you are putting out in the world that is attracting this? Okay. I went out and sought healing. I was guided to somebody that I was told was trustworthy, and I believed it. I trusted and believed the opinions outside of my inner guidance. I permitted their influence in my decision. But I also felt like spirit was guiding me towards this person, as I experienced a lot of supernatural elements that delivered me to go this route. I didn't listen to my intuition throughout the journey, though. When certain things were shut down for me, when I was made fun of in front of people, in just a nonchalant way, I found myself expressing things that I didn't necessarily feel, or would necessarily say in the way it was expressed, but I said it anyways. And it felt like two worlds existed in these moments, and I couldn't tangibly put my finger on it. And I reminded myself to continue to support them. I continue to support this person that I trusted as part of my healing journey, because when I give my all to somebody. And I was committed at that point to this particular connection. But I've come to the understanding that this was also in part spell work and magic, a construct placed in the environment to create some form of distortion to make one appear a certain way or believe something that is far from the truth. And this is done while the abuser tries to look or gain victory. And this feels like a disassociation from reality within some form of construct, because I thought they were holding me throughout my healing journey, but it turns out that they were not. It's like, how could I not see that? Maybe I didn't see it because I didn't want to see it, but it was like hidden. Something was hidden. And they have been abusing their power, is what it came to my understanding, what spirit brought to my awareness. So they are summoning up, or have been for some time, these marine serpent spirits, marine deities, and they can no longer pay what is owed to them. In this instance, your energy. So you've likely have good dharma, which could also be another reasoning they attached or fixated on you. And the Prince of Cups in reverse in your life doesn't have access to your energy anymore. They can no longer pay or adorn the energy of the spirits or deities that they have conjured up. And this is going to begin to show. This is what Spirit's saying. So your ancestors have cut them off. So they permitted them to come in. Yeah, you want to come in? You want to touch to her energy? Sure, come on in. Let's see what you're going to do. And they permitted it. Your ancestors permitted it, and they now have cut them off. And it is going to begin to show that they have lost their ancestral connection, protection, and even their gifts. So however they used to run, whatever abuse of power they were achieving will be seen, and it's all coming to light. And they know this. This is the energy I'm feeling, this attacking energy, because they know their time is up. They're limited. So you will notice this because things that were unimaginable for this person are going to begin to crumble away from them. Like what they have dished out is now going to finally return to them. And when you are with helpers, you will experience the change, right? You're going to experience a change. They will leave you with a positive reflection or experience. You will notice something has changed for the better. And this could be an understanding or an adjustment. You will just feel better and with guidance towards more fulfillment as you step forward. This is how you're going to know you have helpers in your life. But when you're with someone who is trying to take from you, you won't feel that change. It'll be very superficial, short, and not lasting. You won't feel invited either or welcome to express your information with them. They will definitely have a barrier up for when you can come forward. Pardon me. And things around you will fall off and crumble, and you will think that it is you because this is what they want. They want you to think that you created some form of discord. They may even allocate it as a reflection. Like it must be something related to X, Y, and Z, past life implications, or maybe you have karma and this is why this is happening to you. But this is where I am headed with all of this. You need to become aware of your innate abilities within, okay, guys? No one heals us but God. Nobody heals us but God. Nobody gives us the power to heal but God. God gives us the power to do so. God fuels us at our inner healers. God heals us at our inner healers. So as a healer, of yourself, which means you have no will for further suffering. You are wanting to change something that may require some help. Sorry guys, give me a second.